In this video, Paul is going to show you how you can optimize your TradingView chart for profit. But this is quite exciting, ladies and gents. It is a first for xBrat Software Solutions, where during this presentation, Paul is going to give away not one, not two, but three trading indicators as demonstrated within this video. So please watch the video to the end to see the impact of how these three free indicators can help you.
Hi, this is Paul from globaltradingsoftware.com, and this is a tutorial video to how to optimize your chart layout for TradingView. Some of these things are a little personal to me, taking away grid lines and all that sort of thing, but mainly it's about getting some tools on there that will help you. So this is a standard layout for me where I've got four. So if we go along four charts on the same instrument, euro, US dollar. So if we go here, we can see normally when you open a chart up here, you have this and you've got volume at the bottom. Get rid of the volume at the bottom, because I'm going to give you a tool that will help you that colours the candles in different colour. So the main thing is to go to a grid of four. Okay, we want hour on the top left, 30-minute on the top right, 15-minute on the bottom left, and 3-minute on the bottom right. That's your basic layout. The next thing I want to do is on the top left, I'm going to just hover over it and make it big to begin with. I want to add a few indicators. Now, these indicators we give away for free. We call it free for three. So the idea with these is it gives you sort of small confirmations, helps you with trade management and understand that behavior. So the first one I'm going to add on here is the volume behavior. Then I'm going to add the EMA Cloud. Then I'm going to add the bias. Okay. So let's talk about each one of these. So the volume behavior, colours in the candles, different colours. Okay. So first thing I'm doing, I'm just going to go to EMA Cloud. Go to settings, just going to take that plot off here just to clean up the chart a little bit, and I'm going to do the same down here for the bias. Just going to take that plot off just to clean the chart up a little bit. So we can see here on the 60-minute green, red, cyan and grey candles. So there will be a link down below this video to take you through the training. There's videos on each one of these on a link below, and these are all free for TradingView. Just go along and get them. They're really, really good to help with that basic chart layout. So in essence, what we have different coloured candles mean different things. So in volume, we talk about accumulation and distribution. So accumulation has a lot more buyers than sellers, and it has more volume. So you see this big green candle here. This has more volume than the grey candle. That was an accumulation candle. A red candle is a distribution candle, so it has more volume than the previous candle, okay, and more sellers. Grey is an up candle, but it has less volume than the previous candle, so it has less momentum. And then a cyan candle is a candle where we have less volume. It's a down candle. So again, look at those videos and it explains it more. We have an EMA Cloud here. Really, this is a non-linear support and resistance zone. So one of the things I like to do on the hourly is change that to an 89 EMA. Okay. And we can see here, as we're coming up, we see this non-linear support and resistance. It's bouncing off here. So it's a really, really cool tool. Now with the bias, this just looks up one time frame and gives you a bias of to help you with the signals, those confirmations. Just one time frame, but red means a bearish bias, neutral is yellow, and then bullish bias is there. So it's like a little confirmation tool there. Very, very simple. And we've got these set on here. We just click that up arrow in the top left just to hide those, and then we just click here. So what we want to do now is add all of these to all of these charts. So if we right click on that arrow, and we want to apply these indicators to enter entire layout, and then it adds them all. We just need to do a little bit of work on here. So I'm going to go to the 30-minute. I'm going to up that a little bit. We're going to see, you know, with an 89, it's probably a little bit too much for the 30-minute. We're probably going to go to 34, something like that. So let's go to settings. In fact, 55. See how that goes. That's pretty good. What we're looking for is lots of points of control where we're testing and it's coming down. We won't really tell this until we start putting linear support and resistance zones on. You know, with a 15-minute, probably more like a 34 there. So just going to adjust that here. So very adjustable, 34. Okay, and then a 3-minute more like 21. Okay, so I've got a basic chart layout here. 4 different time frames to help me trade, whether it's sort of scalping on the 3-minute, day trading 15, intraday, maybe swinging over on the 30 and the hourly. But together they give us a great combination of the picture of the trade. I'm not going to tell you how to trade, I'm just going to do this basic optimizing your chart layout. So one of the things I also like to get rid of is if I just go to settings here on the chart, right click, just want to make sure all of these are where I want them to be. Sometimes a grey background is fine, you know. We got the candle bodies, green and red, just normal, things like that. Most of these defaults are good enough to start as we go along here. So let's click OK, and you know, just you've got those there. So one of the things I want to look at first is putting those linear support and resistance zones on. So there's a little bit of education in this now, because we need to make sure that we are not trading into major support or we've got overlap. So we're going to do 60, and then we're going to apply it to all, and then we're going to do 30, 15 and the 3-minute. So this works down, and again, trading, you need to really understand the operational landscape of your chart. You've got non-linear support and resistance with EMA Cloud. You've got your understanding with the volume behavior, the volume of each candle compared to the previous one, and it helps you manage the trade or when it's going to break through a support or resistance zone, and you've got the bias there for a little confirmation. So I'm going to go big on the hourly, and I'm going to zoom out, and I'm looking for obvious pivots that join up on the hourly to give us really strong support and resistance zones. So we can see a pivot here, here and here, big pivots. Okay, so what I want to do is I'm just going to go to the rectangle tool down here. I'm just initially going to draw from this bottom pivot here. I'm going to take this pivot and I'm going to draw into that pivot. Okay, I'm going to move that left a little bit because I want to take in there. So we have a strong touch here. We've got a strong touch at the top. So that defines the top of our zone. The bottom of our zone is really this pivot, this pivot, this pivot. So they've got 3 touches there. Got a lot of clustering around the top there. And if we do look left even further, we can see if we just continue this move, this is a really strong zone. Okay, so that's far enough back. I've got lots and lots of touches. So what I want to do now, if I click on that zone, I always change the colors. I have different colors for different time frames. So I have a pink type color for 60 minute. Okay, so then what I want to do is click on there, and I want to sync in layout. So I want it on every chart. So if I just go down a little bit here, you'll see now on all those different time frames we have that 60-minute zone. So let's go back to the 60-minute chart. Again, I don't want too many. I just want to be sensible where we got lots of touches on certain pivots. Okay, so we've only got one touch down here. Really, we got a nice pivot here. So let's draw one in here. So we're going to go this this low pivot here. Down to this point here. Got a touch at the top here, at the top here, at the top here. There's the bottom bound. There's a touch at the top there. Again, if I go left, we can see if I just keep taking that left, we've got very strong support and resistance all the way through that zone. So good zone in my colour for the hour. We take that out a little bit to the right so it's in the future because that's where we're going to be using it. Just going to click on there and I'm going to sync in layout. So now this zone that we have is in our layout. So, have we got one up above that's going to really affect us? We're starting to frame our chart on the 60-minute. Have we got something up above where this pivot is here, or these maybe to give us something on the 60? Not really. We need 3 or more touches. This is a strong pivot here. I am going to draw this in. So I'm going to look at these pivots as my lower bound, and my upper bound is this pivot here. Now, that's not really going to affect anything right now, but I think that is really strong. I'm just going to lower that down to touch these pivots here. What I don't want to do is trade into trouble, so I'm going to then sync that in layout. So don't want to go any further back, and this is really going to affect my trading in the coming week. Okay, we could go down low, but I'm just going to look at this as a lower time frame. So that's our 60-minute chart. That's our operational landscape, and it's on all of our others. So now I'm going to go down to 30 minutes, and I'm going to be looking not so far back, but I'm going to be looking for a 30-minute zones, and they could be confluence zones as well, overlapping the others. Now this is very, very important. Usually narrower, but we can see some very, very strong sort of correlations, that confluence of zones through there. So first of all, let's just zoom out as far as we can go back to around about March. We're in May now. That's far enough back for me. I'm going to look at these pivots here in and around just to see if we've got a smaller zone, and we do. I'm going to just draw another zone in here. I'm just going to draw it anywhere for now, but then I want to change the colour. So I go green when I'm on the 30-minute. I want to pull that up. Remember, the 60 goes a long way back, but I really want to get a tighter zone on the 30 that is really going to not as far back, but confirm to me that we have a really strong confluence zone at the top there. So good close on Friday down at that bottom there. So for me, that's a really good confluence zone there. Top of the pivot here, bottom of the pivot here, bottom pivot of the zone there. We can just take that slightly higher to that pivot. But what we have is we're only looking back a couple of months, and we've got a really strong 30-minute zone. So again, I want to add that and sync in layout to here. We have a really strong zone in the middle here on the 30-minute that we can see this triple bottom here. Okay, so let's pull that in because this is very important. We've got a triple bottom here. We've got lots of tests from underneath here. We've got these big rejections at this point, and then we had a big rejection as resistance there. So this is a strong 30-minute zone. We didn't see that on the 60. Okay, this is where we're using multiple time frames. We're going to sync that to layout. Starting to build that picture, that operational landscape. So on the 30 now, So we've got tests on the top of this 60, lots of tests, 4 tests here, but we've got really only one, and this within there, that there's nothing really there. We've got a little bit here, but I think we need to go down to the 15-minute to see that. Have we got anything up above? No. So I think 30-minute zones, this is where we are really. We go back, now we go to 15-minute. And so now we're starting to look a little bit more granular. We're trying to find some 15-minute zones over the last sort of few weeks that really are strong, that can help us understand for confluence, but also trading. You know, if we're trading on that 3-minute, we need to know where those 15 minutes are as well. So first of all, let's go back to these lows here. We can see here we've got a really strong, this is where this support was really tested on the 15 here. Okay, it's not been tested since, but this is the one that we really need to understand, that could be in the future, if it's tested again. It's going to be weak, it's not going to be brilliant, but we just need to have that here. So I'm just going to change that color, so I have cyan now for the 15-minute. Okay, I'm going to sync in layouts. Now I need to go more granular to where we are right now. So again, I'm looking for pivots that touch really strong here. Okay, so we do have some pivots below this 30-minute zone. Now, just because it makes this zone wider, it's not a bad thing. So what I'm looking for here at this point, it doesn't have to overlap, but what I'm looking for here is a very narrow zone. We've got test on the top, test on the bottom, bottom, top, and then lots of clustering. So just going to sync that in layout. So, you know, if we're trading into this or down below, yes, there's a gap, but we don't trade below the in between. But this whole area now is a concern, if you like. Do we have any in and around this 60-minute zone? Let's have a look. We do. I think really we had major pivots on the 60, but we do have some other pivots that we really need to take notice of on the 15. And I'm just going to draw that on and then discuss. So we have this coming back to test down below here. And then we've got lots of tests that try and shoot out of that 60 but fail. And this is where it finds resistance at that point. 1, 2, 3. Okay, we need to be a little lower, but that's where we are. This, it doesn't matter about that pivot here. It's about a lot of clustering and support here. We take that left. We can see that it's still very strong there as well. Okay. And then we have the pivot down at this point here. Do we have anything in the last week or so? No, the 30-minute really takes care of that. We've got some clustering here, and this pivot doesn't really anything. So that's the 15-minute. Want to make sure that we do sync in layout as well on all of these. Okay, they're all done. So now we have our operational landscape for trading the 15-minute. Let's go down to the 3-minute. We can see all of those if we zoom out on the chart here. But okay, so now we're thinking, right, we're going into Monday. I've got big resistance up above. I've got that confluence of 30 and 60. If it goes into there, I'm going to wait till it breaks out. I'm looking for longs to the next sort of zone. The shorts are good down to this support, but is there anything that happened over the last couple of days, some major pivots on this 3-minute that could pose a significant problem? So I can see here we've got a pivot here, and this was tested again. So again, now what we're going to be looking for now is really small zones, but they are what we call short-term support and resistance. Okay, so this is where we have here now. For my native time zone, I'm going to have yellow on there. Okay, so now we can see we've got a lot of tests at this point here until it finally breaks through, but then we do test that initially, comes back down, then pushes through to here. So this allows us then that operational landscape that gives us, if we're trading on this 3 minute, really we don't want to be going short until it pushes here. Is this pivot another problem? It could be. Let's put that in, let's see how many tests that has had with previous clustering here. Very, very strong. You know, we don't want fat zones, we don't want too many, but again, resistance clustering, okay? Support, just move that down slightly on that pivot, and then support here, it bounced off. So now we have areas to trade, okay? Areas to trade on the, if we're trading the 3 minute, when we zoom into this now, we can see we're below the EMA Cloud, okay? We're still neutral on the bias. Once that bias goes red, we need to be looking for short trades, and again you'll have those signal generators, but then we can see if we get to this sort of area, it's probably going to bounce as support. You know, things happen at this point here, okay? Now then we have options. So if the bias remains red and the price action is below the EMA Cloud and we break through, we've got good trades all the way down to here. If it bounces off there, but the bias is still red or yellow, we're not going to take the longs because it's probably going to come back into here. And then a trade coming down from here, this is just scenarios, would be a nice short. So by setting up our charts in a way and adding these free tools, okay, these the bias, the volume behavior, and the EMA Cloud, it gives us a good opportunity to understand. So let's go through a scenario from Friday, which was really good actually. So we can see that we tested this pivot here, we pulled down, we found non-linear support at this EMA Cloud. We get an accumulation candle because it's green. The next candle is even more volume. It's green again. Our bias is bullish, okay? We're trying to push through here. It does reduce in volume as it pushes through, but then it does push through. So without any signal tool, that's our entry at that point there, okay? Why? We found non-linear support here. It's pushed through our resistance zone. The bias is green, so it's bullish. We've got lots of fresh air to the next zone, okay? We're going to trade that zone. Now, the thing that we can do here with the EMA Cloud is if we could put another one on there for our trade management to and make that a lot more aggressive, if you like, and we change the different colours. So let's add another EMA Cloud on there. This time we're going to call it out. We're going to say it's for our trade management. So we're going to get rid of the plot again, and we're going to change this to green. Okay. And the inputs here are going to be, we're going to be. Let's try 21 first. Okay. Oops, I've changed them both. Hang on a second. Let me just go back. I want to go 34 on that one. And 21 on that one. Okay. Now, we can see now we've got our standard 34 on our EMA Cloud here on the 3 minute. It's holding pretty well. It looked, got good non-linear support all the way through here. Okay. It helps us with those confirmations to get in those trades. Now, if we want to be really aggressive on this, we can see once we get a parabolic move with even 21's too conservative. So what we need to be doing is changing that again to something like 13 or even 11. You can see how aggressive that is now, Okay, so one of the things that we can have with two EMA clouds on there is we can have an aggressive trade management strategy now. We can see on the shallow pullbacks and the sideways action, it does find support and keeps going again. You know, one of the things, because we've actually got that confluence of 30 and 60 there, we would be looking to be aggressive and taking our profit into that zone anyway. But if you wanted to give it time and let it run, if it breaks this EMA cloud, then you get out. Okay, really good trade management strategy. Let's leave both of those on now and talk about another instance where we actually break down below. Okay, so this time let's go to a major confluence zone. We're going to look left. Okay, now we've bounced off this support. We've come to test that big confluence zone, really big confluence zone here of 60 and 30 minutes. It's got to have so much power to push through there. So even though the bias remains green here, so we're not going to take any shorts right now, we can see the up candles are mainly grey. Let's just zoom in a little bit here. They're mainly grey. There's a one candle wonder there with a green, but it's not got enough juice, even though the bias is bullish, to push through. Then we get a distribution candle. That's a red candle with more volume than the previous candle. We start to push down. We can see also now we're pushing through that 34 EMA and we're coming to test it. For me, as soon as we get a bearish bias at this point here, where we've tested that resistance, we've come back down, now we've got a potential entry. But it's a stop market order. We want to make sure we break this low. That's our first sort of bias here. The next candle doesn't break it. It actually doesn't break it until this point here. It's like a start line, a stop market order. So that candle closes. We've got a bearish bias. It's tested here. We understand the behavior. And coming down now, we've had two consecutive red candles. So distribution, more volume. Now we've turned the bias is bearish. Now we're looking for a trade or using one of our signal tools. So the trade goes in at this point here. Okay. Look how it initially comes back to test that 34 EMA. Okay, we have a high volume rejection of the highs. Tombstone here. This is very important. So it has more volume than this previous candle, but it rejects the high on more volume. It's going to come back down again. And this is where we come down at this point here. We then start to use a very tight stop, and eventually that's a break-even trade. But I wanted to go through really how you would use these tools together on that chart set. I mean, this is optimizing your chart for trading. Just having those EMAs on there, having that linear support and resistance zone, EMA Cloud, which is a non-linear support and resistance zone, the bias, the volume behavior indicator. All of a sudden now, your TradingView chart set, whether it's euro, US dollar, whether it's a stock or anything else, all of a sudden now you have an optimized layout to understand the behavior. So check out those links below for these three indicators to put on there, and just watch this video going how I put those sort of multi-time frame support and resistance zones on, because it's very important that you have that operational landscape for your trading chart.